You know, right here, we're gonna get into some things. Some extra things been going on behind the scenes, a lot of things, but we're gonna get into how the YFN, Lucci and YSL and Full Pocket Full really got into some beef, but check it out.
January 10th, 2015. A terrible tragedy was about to shake the streets of Atlanta. One of the most respected figures of the underworld would lose his life in a brazen attack fueled by gang rivalry. His name? Donovan Thomas. Better
Donovan Thomas is YFN Lucci, big homie, and that's Rich Homie Quan, big homie. He was the one that stopped Birdman from signing Rich Homie Quan because he knew it was a slave deal. But check it out.
as Big Nut, also known as OG Nut or Peanut. January 5th, 2015. Gang rivalry overflowed into a collision between two camps that began the clock ticking down to Big Nut's ultimate demise that would take place just 5 days later. The two gangs in question were the Inglewood family, known shortly as IF, and Young Slime Life, known shortly as YSL. Donovan Thomas, also known as Big Nut, was rumored to be a high-ranking member of the Inglewood family street gang.
See, I believe that too, but I also believe like he was working for the feds or something because they really want Young Thugger for this alleged homicide. They trying to blame this on him. But check it out, y'all feel a drift.
While famous A-list rapper Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug, is labeled to be one of the founding members of the YSL gang. On that day, January 5th, IF gang member Kelvin Watts attempted to rob YSL gang member Kenneth Copeland.
See, this is how the beef started. One of Nuts' homie, they always friends, but one of Nuts' homie supposedly allegedly robbed Young Thug, man. Y'all know who Copeland is. He's part of the indictment. He one of the first people. He one of the first person that took the first play, and it all started because of him. Just follow me, y'all. Follow me.
At Club Crucial, Atlanta Police Department gang unit investigators at the time believed what was widely speculated, that this altercation at the club incited the beef that boiled over days later, ending the life of Big Nut on January 10th.
See, this what started the war. This what started the war. They went at the big homie, but you gotta think about it. Why you ain't go back at the guy? I'm not promoting violence, but why you ain't go back at the person that took your chain? You go at the Big Nut because you knew he was accessible, but Nut allegedly supposed to have been a high blood. So for them to do that, they should have knew there was gonna be some turmoil behind that. But check it out.
2015. Big Nut was oblivious to the timer ticking down on his
Right.
life. In fact, who many considered a figurehead throughout the city of Atlanta,
Right.
had a friend and rapper he was at the time
YFN.
pushing to the world. His name was Rayshawn Bennett, known to the hip-hop community as YFN Lucci.
Young
From the
Fly.
crew, Young Fly N-Word.
Mhm.
Bad down, man. Get with it, get it rolled over, man. This is your nut, man. I'm letting you know it, son.
Sadly, Big Nut's enemies were in the shadows, plotting on ending his life.
They was plotting on him. That's corny. So that man, Young Thugger, probably got mad because he messed with YFN Lucci, and then he ain't let Rich Homie Quan go and do that Rich Gang tour and all that. Do that Rich Gang and sign with Rich Gang. Because if you notice, it ain't no more Rich Gang. When y'all pay attention to that, it ain't no more Rich Gang. That Rich Gang over with.
Aside from the altercation between the two camps, tension was brewing, and there still lies speculation that other events were at play that ended in a price being placed on Nut's head. On one theory, it was rumored Nut broke a sacred code of ethics in the gang culture and was talking to law enforcement about his rivals.
See? Didn't I tell you all that at the beginning of that? I think he was an informant. Because there's no reason why they just sitting there chasing him just for that murder. If it's supposed to have been 37 homicides, or allegedly 37 homicides plus more, why are they only worrying about Big Nut? But go ahead, check me out.
YSL, affiliates of Money Murder Gang. On the other end was a financial motive that police documents reveal could have added more fuel to the already blazing fire between.
Yep, that made it worse, y'all. It made it worse, gang. That's all it did.
Between the two camps. At the time, Peanut was the manager of the rapper DeQuantis Lamar, better known as Rich Homie Quan. Documents go on to state that YSL co-founder Young Thug was requesting a collaboration with the rapper, but not only did Rich Homie Quan and Peanut not approve, but Peanut took a stand against it when Young Thug and his YSL affiliates tried to use intimidation and force to change his mind. It was at that moment Peanut understood the gravity of who he was facing, and as recounted by family members.
And the whole thing about it was they was friends. All of them was friends. Rich Homie Quan, all of them, they all was friends, y'all.
He became fearful that his life would be targeted. His fears were right. On January 3rd, 2015, 7 days before his demise, YSL member Young Thug and Demikion Carlington, also known as D or Sarfax, sent a chilling message of things to come. On D's Instagram account, both were seen in a picture with the caption reading, "We ain't going back and forth." It was already decided by YSL that the time for talking was over and action was the next.
See, they start getting serious. Everything start getting serious. Hold on, gang.
Next required step. January 7th, 3 days before Peanut's assassination, the transport to do the crime was rented by Young Thug, a 2014 silver Infiniti Q50 sedan from Hertz Rent-A-Car. The days were counting down, and so was the lifespan of Donovan Thomas, also known as Peanut. Hours away from losing his life, Young Thug and his YSL associates put a plan into motion. January 10th, 2015, Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, was in the Infiniti he rented just a few days earlier when he.
See, this is the case. It's about that Infinity and Nut murder. It's connected. The thing about it is a Young Thugger name. That's the thing about it.
He spotted Thomas standing outside of a barber shop on 330 McDaniel Street in Atlanta. Thug was also with Garlington, aka D, Shannon Jackson, aka Shannon. This is it, folks.
See, it's a lot going on, y'all. It ain't just everything you say. Everything y'all see ain't what y'all think it is. It's more. They just ain't trying. They just ain't trying to show it. It's a lot going on. Trust me, it's going on. It's really going down.
4th and 1. No timeouts. Johnson lines up under center.
It's really going down, y'all. That beef, that Edo Jew. Check it. We back at it.
ASB, DeMonte Kendrick, aka Yak Gotti, Demise McMullen, aka Nard, and Justin Cobb, aka Doo-Wop. According to police documents and testaments from a key witness at the scene involved in the crime, Young Thug loaned the car to his YSL affiliates to carry out the hit on Peanut. At approximately 7:22 p.m., the shooter, who was said to be Jackson, aka SB, shot Peanut dead as he stood in the parking lot of the barbershop. The shots came from a motor vehicle, the same one that was rented and loaned to him and his other assailants by YSL co-founder Young Thug. Peanut was hit multiple times on the upper area of his body and began the fight for his life, while two others, one being a teenager, was injured in the attack. He was rushed to the nearest hospital where doctors attempted to save his life, but unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries. Police officers believed Peanut wasn't a random passerby, but specifically targeted and assassinated.
They said he was assassinated, so they know that was a real hit. That was something personal, man. That was something real personal.
Passing sent a wave of emotions through the city of Atlanta. Some angry, others hurt, and some, like his rivals, were celebrating and making a mockery of his passing. The words "slat" were later spray painted on his tomb, and it wasn't a secret who the street terminology belonged to. Young Thug publicized the use of the term, and it is a regular term that is a part of how he talks.
Slick! Slick! Slick!
Young Thug even has a track titled Slatty on his album Slime Language 2, featuring one of his assailants that was involved in taking out Peanut, Yak Gotti. Investigators began on the manhunt to gather evidence that would lead to the arrest of the perpetrators, not only to bring justice for the crime, but also the time was now counting down on a wave of retaliation they knew was coming. The investigation led to numerous first-hand accounts of what happened, and all pointed to Young Thug and YSL being the ones responsible for the brazen attack. Peanut's brother, who stood near him at the time of his passing, recalled Peanut whispering the haunting last words, "Thug had me killed." Further investigations led to...
You heard that? While he was on his bed, he said that. He said, "Thug had me killed." That's why they on his top.
Officers obtaining a key witness involved in the incident, Kenneth Copeland, aka Little Woody. Woody first denied all allegations and speculations that he was involved in the hit, but 6 months later, after a series of attempts on his own life by his rivals and issues with the law,
crazy.
Woody came clean. The revelation was a smoking gun for the case. According
That's
to
how it all
Woody,
started.
he admitted to lead detective Jim Thorpe that he saw Jackson, aka SB, at a McDonald's parking lot with fellow gang member Yak Gotti, Demise McMullen, aka Nard, and Justin Combs, aka Doo-Wop, immediately after the hit on Peanut's life. He further went on to state that at the same time, fellow YSL gang member Demikian Garlington, aka D, told him that SB, Yak Gotti, Nard, and Doo-Wop had just murdered Peanut. Woody was the one tasked with picking up the other members of YSL involved in the homicide at the McDonald's location. Upon entering the vehicle, Garlington, aka D, went on to confirm to him that they murdered Peanut during a drive-by shooting in which...
See, the crazy part about it is the boy Woody been telling. That's the boy that got out first when they first got indicted. When they first got indicted, that was the first boy that sat there and said that. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. He told him now. And the whole time, Thugger thought everybody was slack. He thought everybody was slack.
which they used the silver Infinity rented by YSL co-founder Young Thug. The hit set off a series of events that led to a bloodbath throughout the city, claiming lives and fueling a gang rivalry that still continues today.
Sell to your customers any.
Thing about it is, there's so much going on with that. Like, that beef is real deep. That beef is real deep. They even got something to do with that 4PF. We'll put you on that 4PF joint too. Like, it's crazy, man. It's wild, man. It's wild, man. Check, we back to the story though.
Peanut's close friend, YFN Lucci, has been locked in a wild back and forth with YSL and Young Thug ever since. In May 2019, this nearly resulted in YFN Lucci suffering the same fate as his friend.
Say, Lucci kept getting his car shot up. It kept going this. See, I gotta keep pausing because I don't want to get copyright strike. So I gotta bear with me, and I gotta fill y'all in on what's going on too. But his car kept getting shot up. But it was in his mom's name, so they knew his mom allegedly lived at. But pay attention to the story.
Friend Peanut, when his Mercedes SUV was targeted in Atlanta. Popular entertainment website TMZ reports that Lucci wasn't there at the time, but police officers found a man suffering from 2 gunshot wounds, and Lucci's mother was the registered owner of his vehicle. In a clip obtained by TMZ showing just how intent his assailants were on claiming his life, bullet holes can be seen all through the vehicle. Then again, in June 2020, YFN Lucci was targeted at his music video.
See, now that's the part when they try to say he pushed his friends out of their car, but the whole thing is them niggas supposed to have crossed him. They supposed to have been 4PF. They supposed to have been 4PF members.
At the 600 block of Martin Street, 3 assailants fire, injuring someone in the thumb. Both YFN Lucci and Young Thug, however, are now fighting for their freedom after both were indicted on separate RICO charges. YFN Lucci is facing a murder charge, and Young Thug and his YSL gang members were indicted for criminal activity, inclusive of the ones responsible for Donovan Thomas, also known as Peanut, losing his life.
See, and in that indictment, it got 4PF and all that in it because them 2 people that Lucci supposed to, or whoever supposed to have shot that car up, and while they was in there in the back seat, that's supposed to be 4PF members.
This is video from court of Young Thug in a blue jumpsuit. The rapper and 28 other defendants charged in a 56-count indictment.
George, this investigation has been going on for months, and take a look at this. This is that 88-page indictment, 56 charges ranging from murder.
9 of Young Thug's songs used as evidence. The indictment saying these words used after the murder of Donovan Thomas, the leader of a rival gang. One of the people charged with his death, a member of Thug's YSL label.
Peanut's passing was a tragedy, one seen far too often in community.
See, y'all, it got deep, man. Now I'm gonna show y'all the 4PF. I'm gonna show y'all the 4PF beef. The 4PF beef different too. Look at this. I bet you y'all ain't know nothing about this. Trust me, watch this one.
Page and y'all scroll down to 100 Mob in the building.
Now look, this is why I think Treble probably got hit up. This is just my opinion of what I'm thinking, but just look, just pay attention.
You already know it's Top Cat 100.
Shout out to Top Cat, but the real filter TV. Shout out to him.
Make sure y'all flood his YouTube. Y'all get in contact with him through the links below and also through his IG. You already know what time it is. To all my haters, your car constantly smells like a buffalo safari. Your Razor Ramon, Sir Smoke-a-Lot face ass nigga, now go in the corner and listen to YDB and Allen Iverson albums, nigga. Cause that's how you rock, nigga. Now I don't know why you listen to certain things. Straight up and down, man, you need to calm down. Now, what I'm saying? We got accusations again. And we got to treat this the same as anything else because people keep talking about the streets and keep pushing this narrative up on our youth and up on our adults and trying to make it seem like this and that. So we can't have no picks, man. So just like 6ix9ine, just like, you know, the guy, the Philly, you know what I'm saying, the Corvette dude or whatever y'all want to call him, we got to call out Lil Baby to the front, and not necessarily meaning that he had anything to do with anything, but he do. Because his right-hand man, G5, if I'm saying it right. If I'm not, y'all go don't correct me this time. Now, he's been called out for being Stuart Little, which means a rat. You see what I'm saying? And not too long, I seen Trouble post this. And I'm
So pay attention to this. This was before Trouble came to his demise. Pay attention to this.
wondering what's going on. They talking about paperwork parties. And you know, this paperwork party theme that T.I. started, people don't really want to, they kept, you know, clowning them about it and talking about there's no such thing as paperwork parties and all this, where that come from. And everybody's so-called having them now. So shout out to Tip for that. But anyway, we want to talk about why these paper parties are being thrown, you know, notable names getting thrown out there. Now, Lil Baby, if you running around with somebody that you know did this, now we're not saying that you know, so that's why we getting Lil Baby.
But G5 is his man. Remember, he was on that toast to him. He be like, free G5 and all that. G5 supposed to be a rat. Trouble exposed that.
Clarity. We can't keep putting everything up on the rapper. You see what I'm saying? But even though Trouble shared this, he's certified. He been through the ranks of the jails and the prisons and stuff like that, so we can't say that he no McFlurry type nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And we not trying to call none of these other type people no butter crunch type niggas. This is real talk because at the end of the day, we talking.
By the way, all this is allegedly. I told you a disclaimer in the beginning of the video. All this is allegedly.
My people that had to pass the rights to get to where they had to even talk about this. And while he talked about it, it was actually Young Thug, big homie, that released this. Now everybody know Young Thug and Lil Baby cool, so this is where all the heads get to turning, like what's really going on in the ATL circuit, man.
See, it's going down to ATL. It's going down, y'all. Just pay attention. All down south is going down. Atlanta, Texas, Memphis, Arkansas, all that.
Because if Lil Baby cool with Young Thug, and Young Thug big homie calling out Lil Baby right-hand man, what is going on? You see what I'm saying? This is how Sonic rings start flying, and people start running around in circles in panic. Because people don't understand who not to speak on and who not, because, you know, we can't have no pigs. So you can't get mad at Young Thug, big homie, Trouble, if this is true. They're saying it's true. You know, this is.
Oh, you see what I'm saying? That's how Trouble probably got caught up. That's how Trouble probably. They locked him up, allegedly. I'm telling y'all, just pay attention to things.
Young Thug, you know, big homie inside the blue jumpsuit or whatever. He's known as Richie Rue. You understand what I'm saying? From what people meet. John Rue, whatever. You know, that's what they call him, John Rue, but you know, it's Richie Rue from the. But he's actually, you know, Young Thug, big homie. So at the end of the day, he's saying that somebody in 4PF that was in Lil Baby group or whatever that was real close to him actually got back there and got locked up and stuff like that, and he was trying to tell him that they need to switch you for G5 because at the end of the day, he the one ready. He put, you know.
See?
I mean, me back here, he put a few other people back here, and he switched his name and stuff. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if they say he went by Lil Steve or whatever they were talking about. Y'all go to official Florida promotion IG page, and y'all scroll down to y'all find this, and y'all watch it, because it's slots that y'all gotta, you know, watch. Now, Richie Rue is explaining all of this in detail and telling you why, when, and how he did all of this, so it's believable. And Young Thug, big homie, is not going, you know what I mean, just put a jacket on somebody and he back there and he living like this. You see what I'm saying? So, if he's stamping it, this is something that Lil Baby got to come for.
That Lil Baby ain't never going to He ain't gonna never come forward. He not. They all got rats in their crew. Everybody got rats in their crew, man. Everybody. That's what it looked like. And 6ix9ine said it. 6ix9ine said it from the jump. He said they're rats. He said they all rats, y'all. We can't lie. Can't lie. 6ix9ine came out and said it. Came out and said it. They snakes. So you can't trust a lot of these blogs. Now look, this is the reason why he gonna testify. Look.
IRB is an online store with...
He gonna testify. Everything in this video is a disclaimer, it's all alleged.
In May, you had a situation with your G-Wagon.
Yeah.
You got shot up.
Yeah, I wasn't in it though.
You weren't in it?
Yeah, my dad was driving in it.
Okay. Do you feel like that was meant for you though?
I don't know, it was meant for shit, life.
You must have heard about an attempt on YFN Lucci's life, or maybe 2 attempts now, but just how did that happen? Once Young Thug has been alleged of being after Lucci's life in 2019, and what we heard recently is that even in jail, Thug tried to kill Lucci. Well, concerning that news, YFN Lucci did say something. That and the newest info on that case will be revealed in this video. But before we start the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you'd like to join this month's giveaway for one of these items on the screen, then all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and then watch this video to the end to comment the hidden keyword. Good luck. You must have heard 1 or 2 things about the YFN YSL beef. Yeah, we talked about it before on this channel too, but let's not get into the
Y'all gotta pay attention, y'all gotta follow the threads, follow it.
beef details now and just focus on this shocking news about Young Thug allegedly trying to kill YFN Lucci. Lucci has been in Fulton County Jail since January 2021 after he turned himself in for the 2020 shooting that took the life of 28-year-old James Adams and wounded another. But just as his trial date inches closer, he began to clamor for a release. You know, the same thing also happened with Young Thug recently when he said something about his terrible jail conditions and asked to be released. Considering the type of life these guys lived, you'll understand how difficult being behind bars can be for them. But you see, the jail doesn't care. Maybe other jails do, but the Fulton County Jail doesn't seem to care. That's said because the Fulton County Jail District Attorney, Fannie Willis, said after the arrest of Young Thug that it doesn't matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, you're going
See, Fannie Willis don't care about none of that at all.
to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office.
It does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
Apparently, these guys have become the target and focus of the DA's office. Back to the time Lucci was clamoring for a release, it wasn't because of his own jail conditions. It was because of a rumor that circulated before he spoke out, and that was about Lucci almost losing his life in jail. Here are the details.
He told them he got a check on his head.
According to TMZ, YFN Lucci says he was stabbed by a fellow inmate in February, and he thinks he could possibly die behind bars if he isn't let out. The legal documents reportedly claim that there's also a bounty on his head among inmates. YFN Lucci says he was stabbed with a homemade shank while he was on a video call, and he's now asking a judge for bond, even if that means wearing an ankle monitor after being in home confinement 24 hours a day. I guess that's enough reason to bond him out of jail, but you see, some opportunities come but once. At a time when Lucci was granted bond, he had violated it by going to a strip club and a recording studio. After that, he was thrown...
Really did. I think Lucci did that because he was probably scared, and he knew that Thug and them knew where he lived at, and it was just like he wanted to move proper. So we can't come down all on him like that, man. But he was scared, man. He was scared. We're gonna keep it 1,000. We're gonna keep it 1,000, y'all.
right back inside the jail, and because of that, no matter what he says, he's gonna remain there for a long time. Last June, YFN Lucci's attorney, Drew Finley, attempted to use his celebrity card in an effort to sway Judge Thomas Cox, but Cox wasn't hearing it. Finley said, "My client is, Your Honor, an incredibly successful artist that is very well known nationally and even internationally." Judge Cox replied, "The defendant will remain in a no bond status at this time. Additionally, this court revokes any bonds previously issued in this case." Whoa, that didn't go well for Lucci. YFN Lucci has been behind bars for over a year after he was charged in a 105-count racketeer influenced and corrupt organizations RICO indictment, along with 11 others. RICO.
This is how they began caught up with that RICO, y'all. This is how. They be guilty by association. And the crazy part, they said Lucci wasn't never part of no gang. He just used to be around them. Ain't that some shit?
Did hit him, but didn't leave his rival behind. Though this isn't confirmed, I heard that Lucci laughed about the problems of YSL. He allegedly called out Young Thug and laughed about the sticky situation he and his crew found themselves in. Maybe that was it, or maybe not. It was after that rumor went around that Lucci claimed that his life was no longer safe in jail. Now more information into why Lucci was possibly stabbed has been brought to light. You know, Young Thug was arrested and charged with racketeering, murder, armed robbery, and participation in criminal street gang activity.
Right.
That's a whole lot of charge on one person. Originally, that's some serious stuff. And now that Lucci has admitted someone tried to kill him, that just probably complicated the whole issue for...
That's what it did. It made it worse. They already know on the streets that he had something on your head. So for you to go to jail, they knew it was something on your head. So it's like, for you to even implicate that, Lucci, it just was like, bro, you know what you did, home slice. It's cool, man. Love is love, man. Where that junk go? Love is love. Feel me?
He was stabbed with a homemade shank while he was on a video call, and he's now asking a judge for bond, even if that means wearing an ankle monitor after being in home confinement 24 hours a day. I guess that's enough reason to bond him out of jail, but you see, some opportunities come but once. At a time when Lucci was granted bond, he had violated it by going to a strip club and a recording studio.
Yep.
After that, he was thrown right back inside the jail, and because of that, no matter what he says, he's gonna remain there for a long time.
Yep.
Last June, YFN Lucci's attorney, Drew Finley, attempted to use his celebrity card in an effort to sway Judge Thomas Cox, but Cox wasn't hearing it. Finley said, "My client is, Your Honor, an incredibly successful artist that is very well known nationally and even internationally." Judge Cox replied, "The defendant will remain in a no bond status at this time. Additionally..."
They try and get all their facts together, man. And when they get all their facts together, man, they coming. The feds or the state, they coming. Trust the kid, they coming.
This court revokes any bonds previously issued in this case. Whoa, that didn't go well for Lucci. YFN Lucci has been behind bars for over a year after he was charged in a 105-count racketeer influenced and corrupt organizations RICO indictment, along with 11 others.
You hear that? That's something major. Damn.
RICO did hit him, but didn't leave his rival behind. Though this isn't confirmed, I heard that Lucci laughed about the problems of YSL. He allegedly called out Young Thug and laughed about the sticky situation he and his crew found themselves in. Maybe that was it, or maybe not. It was after that rumor went around that Lucci claimed that his life was no longer safe in jail. Now more information into why Lucci was possibly stabbed has...
But the thing about it is, he got stabbed. He was in PC. So that bounty must have been heavy on his head. Like, he was in PC and they stabbed him up on the phone. Like, and I don't wish this on no black man, but it's just, man, you know, when you in jail, all them guns check in, playboys. Remember that. For all the youngest, y'all gotta remember that.
Been brought to light. You know, Young Thug was arrested and charged with racketeering, murder, armed robbery, and participation in criminal street gang activity. That's a whole lot of charge on one person. Originally, that's some serious stuff, and now that Lucci has mentioned that someone tried to kill him, that just probably complicated the whole issue for Thug. Even though he was not part of the attack on Lucci, he has to be the first suspect, or say the whole of YSL, and now court documents have revealed some serious secrets. According to court documents obtained by WSB-TV Atlanta, prosecutors believe two associates of Young Slime Life, YSL, Christian Eppinger and Antonio Sumlin, worked to get Young Thug's permission to make a second attempt to murder YFN Lucci. I hope y'all noted.
That makes sense. That's the way they put it together. And I'm not saying these guys right or wrong, but all I'm saying is the defense, they going out with a bang, man. We got no choice but to respect them. They going out. They working for their money. They working for their money, y'all. They working. So we just gotta look at it, man. I'll be back on it later on also too. That we gonna get into some more stuff. We gonna get into all that, man, because that's a lot. It's a lot, man.
The word second. That only means the first attempt was from the same source, which is YSL, or the leader Young Thug. I'm still trying to understand why anyone would be trying to get out of a messy situation and still do things to put himself permanently in it. If what's been reported about Young Thug and his people is true, then it might just be the end for Young Thug. It's still kind of simple for someone like Gunna, who was also named in the indictment alongside Young Thug. His charges are far less severe and include just one count of conspiring to violate the RICO Act. He might have his way out soon or get lesser punishment, but Thugger? I'm not sure. I'm just trying to imagine what those who are out there advocating for Thug and YSL would feel after finding out that shit has gotten real now.
Yes,
Do we start from Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, who once gave a brief statement to the press saying, "I'll tell you the response to any allegation. Mr. Williams committed no crime whatsoever, and we'll fight to my last drop of blood to clear him." Or do we talk about Metro Boomin, who dedicated his time to write a lengthy post about Young Thug and YSL? In case you didn't know about what he wrote, here it is. YSL is not a gang, and has never been a gang, fool. YSL.
Yeah, but you got people testify. You got people testifying saying they are a gang, and that's the corny part, man. Like little niggas like Gunna and stuff. They admitted it.
YSL is a registered LLC and has provided countless jobs and opportunities for underprivileged black people, and really just all people, because that's how big Thug Heart is. I've seen firsthand that thousands of black people and their families' lives changed for the better over the past 10 years now. He continued by writing, "They're trying to cut the head off the snake because they see how much bigger it gets every year. They get terrified every time an iconic black leader..."
Definitely. Every time he try to put something together, we already know he was going at that with.
Emerges with so much influence, respect, power, and appeal, so they throw some bullshit charges together to lock him up and slow the movement down. Look at the American history. It's been a pattern for 100+ years. Metro clearly believes that this is some kind of conspiracy. Well, what about what's been found about Young Thug?
It's like they just putting stuff on him, try to put people on him. Like, it's a shame. That's a shame, y'all. It's a shame.
To the YFN Lucci, being behind bars can be for them. But you see, the jail doesn't care. Maybe other jails do, but the Fulton County Jail doesn't seem to care. That's it, because the Fulton County Jail District Attorney, Fannie Willis, said after the arrest of Young Thug that it doesn't matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, you're going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office.
It does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a...
You hear her? She not playing no games, man. Yeah. Alright. She not playing no games with y'all at all. Y'all gotta remember that. Fonny not playing with y'all characters. She ain't going out like that, y'all. She not. Fonny ain't playing. Young Thugger, you freed all them people, and then all them people got locked up right behind y'all. It's just like, that's crazy, man. It's crazy. You freed all them people, and 30 people got locked up behind you. I'm not saying it's cause of you. I'm just saying, allegedly. That's a bad job, Playboy. It's a bad joint, man. It's a bad joint. I'm talking to you. That's a bad joint, Thugger. I just hope you make it out of that, man. Hope you make it out of that joint, man. No doubt. Hope you do what you gotta do. Hope you do what you gotta do and make it out of that. Cause you know, if you ain't standing for nothing, you gonna fall for anything. And that's you gotta stand for something. Or you gonna fall for anything. And that's just how the game goes. So wish Thugger, wish you luck. You know. If you did do all that, man, it's a shame. You was terrorizing the community, man. You know these people ain't like that, man. These people ain't like that, so you gotta clear that up, Thugger. That's all. But I'm out.